7:18.
All right.
That's not right.
Good evening.
7:19.
The Building Facilities Construction Committee meeting of Wednesday, January 15th, 2019 will come to order at 7:18. All right, business. The first item on the agenda is library. Bill, can you,
Yep.
ADA accessibility update, what's the status?
So, as you know, we've been talking for some time about making the library ADA accessible. And this is, as you know, driven by the trustees and the staff down at the library. They've attended some of our previous meetings, and at one of our previous meetings, it was discussed that we meet and define a scope and maybe answer a few basic questions on process and procedure. Mike and I did attend a small group of trustees and staff at the library and discussed, gave them some direction and input and guidance on what we thought was proper process. And that meeting was a little over a month ago. And so I thought it went well. I thought we were very clear. Everyone seemed to be on the same page. I did not watch the trustees meeting after that or any other meeting. I did ask Justin to define better a scope, and you'll see in your packet is an email, which was an effort to kind of define what they had in mind for scope. Generally speaking, he's saying there's 3 goals to be addressed in the renovation. A small expansion to the library to the easterly side of the north-facing wall, which provides handicap-friendly access from the outside with minimal alteration of current conditions. The expansion is to include a landing at the external grade line between the 2 existing floors. The landing will provide access to stairs and an elevator connecting to both floors of the library. B, a paved parking lot, driveway, and sidewalk, approximating the current layout of crushed asphalt as much as possible. Minimal disruption. Said lot is to provide pedestrian access from the sidewalk in front of the building to the new rear entrance and meet all accessibility standards. And then lastly, an accessible unisex bathroom in the basement of the library to ideally share the same space currently occupied by the boiler. At this point, he's defined a scope. I think they're looking to possibly move forward with an RFP, but funding is also the question. So, in a nutshell, what Mike and I conveyed to them through Dawn, Kate, and Justin was basically the project is the project. Don't try to pare down the project because you want to try and get under a certain budget amount. You need to do a good municipal project that meets the needs of what you need. Don't drive it based on cost, do it based on what you need. And that was the message that was conveyed from our end. This looks like a minimalistic approach. I mean, I'm concerned, and I voiced my concern about only paving a small portion of the parking lot. I would think it would make sense if you're going to be out there paving any portion of the parking lot that you pave the parking lot. It might mean a little more cost with regard to stormwater management, but that's not astronomical. It's a site work issue. It can be dealt with. I think, at least from my perspective, I was trying to get them to look at the, broad view, something that's going to be here for a while. If you have gravel adjacent to a paved area like they're describing, I'm concerned it's going to deteriorate more quickly, be a maintenance issue, and that's really short-sighted in my opinion. I would think that they could, and again, we're advisory. That's our role. They drive the project. I want to make that clear. And so they could certainly take a smaller approach. recommending that, they do it properly.
Mhm.
And it might be a little more expensive, but do it right. So,
I think it's
Thank
a
you.
waste of money if they don't do it right, because you're right, it will deteriorate among other things.
I give it a year or two and it'll
Yeah.
be gouged from plowing and, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
My concern would be, you know, if you've got one surface and the other, and if you get in there with a handicap van and wheelchairs and so forth, that's not good. But anyhow, advisory.
Mm.
They need to look at what they really want, and we're here for advisory, especially you. Anyone else? Comments?
Yeah, well, on that note, it goes a little past what they want, it's what they need.
True.
And that's what I had explained to them is, they were frustrated over the fact that I said you need to ignore the budget until you identify what it is, and then the budget will come after that.
Mhm.
You gotta figure out what you need for that building and something that's gonna satisfy your needs for a period of time,
Mhm.
not a short period of time, but a long period of time.
Mhm.
You just go about it properly, you gotta go.
Mhm.
And if you believe in what you want, you need to carry it to the end. Just go right to the finish line, and it is what it is.
Absolutely.
So anyhow, you haven't heard any more from?
no, I let them know we were gonna be discussing it tonight, and I know Justin sent me an email saying he couldn't make it, but I didn't hear from Kate or Dawn.
Okay. All right. Enough until we hear from where we're going. Okay, thank you, Bill.
Yep.
Next item on the agenda?
Okay, the green energy, which includes municipal building weatherization, police station HVAC, and primary school lighting. The only one that's currently moving forward is the police station HVAC. I know they have recently installed and are in the process of finalizing the drawing a blank, the units, the mini split units. And I know that over the weekend there was a minor leak issue that was repaired today. You know, Adam contacted the vendor and they came out today and fixed it.
On what has been put in?
On one of the new, some of the piping that connects one of the units, yeah.
Okay.
And it's repaired, so it's fine now. But
But it hasn't been signed off?
no, hasn't, we've not paid any bills, we haven't gotten any bills. It's gonna be a small turnaround project, but it's moving right along. If you leave tonight, you'll notice the new units mounted on the outside of the building,
Mhm.
on the corner facing the parking lot.
Okay. Anybody? Questions, comments? No?
With
Okay.
regard to the weatherization and the school lighting, those have not begun yet.
Okay. Moving on to item 3, police department windows.
Police department windows, and again, on the agenda, if you click on the links, you'll have all the current documentation, so I didn't spend a lot of time printing this stuff out.
Sure.
What we did was print out a listing of what's on those pages. So, police department windows, as you know, we've been working with GRLA, the architect, and we had documents prepared. It went out to bid. Farica was awarded the contract. Farica's been out there. We had some discussion about field condition with regard to the locker room in the police department and interference with the lockers and the windows. The town's taken the position that those are pre-existing. We specifically addressed that during the site walk for the bidders, and we actually addressed it in an addendum to the bid, the request for bids. So everyone was made aware of the locker situation, and, you know, the contractor was trying to suggest that it was gonna be overly burdensome to remove the lockers in order to get to the window to install it. After some negotiation, which took way longer than it should have, we ended up saying, proceed. There's no current change of conditions. If you remove the lockers and there is a change of conditions, we can then talk about a change order. And that's how it was left. So they're proceeding with that premise.
Any good questions?
What are the odds that there's gonna be a change of conditions?
I don't expect there will
No.
be a change in
So it's
conditions.
just, okay.
Okay. Item 4, municipal backup generator. Status update.
The latest update on the municipal backup generator is, we did not get the grant from the Commonwealth Compact. They give grants for various things. That
Yeah.
went through the administrator's office. We were gonna supplement the generator with a larger IT redundancy system and have this be the emergency operations center
Right.
for an emergency. We did not get that grant. We just learned that this week.
Right.
So we're re-evaluating what we want to do, and we'll be back with a recommendation at some point.
So right now, if there was an emergency and we needed,
We would do what we always did.
which is.
Run a cord down the Davis Street.
No, we do have a generator in the back, but it doesn't cover the whole town hall. It only covers the police station.
Yeah. Any other questions?
Currently, the school is an emergency location, designated as an emergency
And
location.
it has a
so-
backup generator?
So,
and
yes, it
Yeah.
does.
No
Yeah.
issue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It became an issue, just like the heating system, they would get an emergency generator and.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. BADLUCK Pond Outlet
God.
Bridge.
Yeah, this project's moving along fine, no issues whatsoever. Last I saw, they had submitted to Mass DOT a 50% design set of drawings, and it goes back and forth, 50, 75, and then they get final approval. So they're in process. Once the design gets approved, we then put it out to bid. So we're moving
So
forward.
it's still
on
in the design
that. It's still
stage.
in design, yeah.
Questions? Okay. All right, the next one is the municipal fire alarm. This has been around for quite a while.
It has been. As you recall, previously, we talked about grouping this with the generator project, and that's still currently what the plan is. So, you know, we think there's some economy of scale. Instead of having an architect come out and look at the building for one thing, then a different one come out, look at the building for that, group it all together and have it be part of one. So we think there might be some savings, having one set of bid documents and such, so currently, we're trying to link that up with the generator project.
Questions, anyone? Okay, next item, municipal gymnasium windows. If I remember correctly, they wanted us to hold on doing that project.
Over the
till-
winter, yes,
Yeah.
so as we approach the warmer weather and basketball will no longer be indoors,
Yeah.
that's when we're going to be targeting getting that project done. So we have not finalized that yet. We will as we get a few more months down the road.
Questions, anybody?
No.
Yeah, I did. actually.
Yeah, Mike? Sure?
A few months down the road, you're gonna start the bidding process and all that stuff? So wouldn't that put it back into the whole weather of next year?
Probably not the cold weather, I would think it'd be, this size project would probably be a good filler project, I would
Yeah.
think, for a contractor
Yeah.
between jobs.
I'm just thinking of the time, by the time you select whoever the architect is or whatever, and then,
The bidding process will take about a month.
yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
so,
All right.
I mean, we could try to move that up. It's really a scheduling thing. I will move this up.
The only, because of the thought process of where we are now with the police station windows.
Right.
That timeline, if we wait until warm weather to start this one, we got messed up before
Okay.
cold weather, that's all.
I'll have a conversation with Matt and Adam on
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
Okay.
because if we could get it going right after basketball
Right.
is over.
If that's what the goal is, then
Yeah.
I would think
Just
there
do it.
should be
Because then
some
we'll run into the same
pre-planning to
issue.
it. Yeah.
Right.
Yep. Okay, minutes. We have 2 sets of minutes. First is August 21st, 2019. Any comments, any corrections?
What happened here?
We may have to, we have to wait until Sean is on board, because Ginger was absent, unless she watched them.
Well, there's 3 of us here.
True. Yeah, but Ginger was absent.
3 out of the
4 present?
quorum.
3 out of the 4
or
present.
quorum.
You should be able to vote.
Yeah.
I make a motion to approve the August 21st, 2019 Building and Facilities Construction Committee meeting minutes as presented.
Second.
All right, Linda made the motion, Mike seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So voted.
Before we move on to the other minute, on page 2, it actually addresses the gymnasium windows with the exact same thing we just talked about,
Sure. Yep,
about moving forward with the bid documents and stuff.
yep,
Mhm.
good point. Okay, October 24th, 2019. As you wish.
And what we were discussing earlier, before we started the meeting, on page 1, the paragraph that starts with, "The BFCC had no objection to the formation of a subcommittee consisting of at least Mr. Fitzpatrick and some members of the library." So it was, we did say he would be part of that subcommittee. Or did we not?
I think that,
I don't remember what town council said.
I didn't know.
The town council, the question we posed to town council had to do with whether or not it was a formal committee and if we had to keep minutes and if,
Oh, okay.
and town council said, advised us that yes, you should keep minutes and it would be considered a formal committee. And he just cautioned us on, not treating it as such. So we did post the meeting. I believe minutes
Yeah.
had been kept on the meeting. I know that it was recorded, so I think Mary may have done the minutes on it too.
so,
And I believe it was voted on that I would join that subcommittee in an advisory role, but in no
That's what it
way,
says here.
in
Yeah,
no way
okay.
represent the BFCC.
Okay.
That's what exactly.
and
what
you're
it says.
comfortable with what that says?
That whole paragraph.
Well, that's what I was just trying to, Well, it's just the sentence after, second to the last sentence, the role of any member of the BFCC would be to begin the preliminary process of going through the process of design and selection.
I don't like the way that's.
That's after you guys, your little subcommittee, have defined the scope, I think. Then it would come to us.
I know
Well,
you were
they-
very,
That's what we talked about that night.
The intent, at least the way I understood it, was the trustees are defining the scope. Mike and I were there to answer questions and provide some input on the
Right.
process.
I'm just wondering, are the minutes correct? The way we discussed it
Well,
on this night?
right, and now also.
Not what happened after, or
Right.
what somebody
But
thought.
also, my concern is you two were the two that discussed it with, or had advice from the town council. So I'm saying, are you comfortable with what that says?
I don't object to it.
No, I think it's
I
fine.
don't object to it.
Okay. All right, do I hear a motion?
I make a motion to approve the October 24th, 2019 Building Facility Construction Committee meeting minutes as presented.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Any discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Right.
Opposed?
Virginia, what's it?
So voted. All right.
Some of that sense is wrong.
But yeah, it's just screwy.
Upcoming meetings, please note in your calendars, we
We gotta
do
vote
need,
on it.
yep, we do need to make sure we attend these meetings, because some of us get here, and then if you're not here, we can't hold it, because we don't have a
And if
quorum.
I miss three, you're gonna throw me off.
No,
That's the rule.
That was
It's not
voted
my
on.
job.
It's not gonna happen.
That was voted on.
Forget it.
Are you comfortable with these dates?
Yes.
Who knows?
I need a vote on the meeting schedule for 2020.
I make a motion to approve the Building Facility Construction Committee meeting schedule for 2020 as presented.
Second.
Linda made the motion, Ginger seconded. Any discussion? If not, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Are there any opposed? Are there any other issues not anticipated or on this schedule that should be discussed at this time? If not, do I hear a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Motion made by Mike, seconded by Linda. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The meeting is adjourned at 7:40.
Is my head that big?